I would love for all those people at home who are either in partnerships or friendships where arguing happens.
Yeah.
Jefferson Fisher, uh, you and your wife being attorneys, being phenomenal communicators, right? Having sometimes your job depending on it.
Hmm.
And then you, of course, becoming now one of the most well known communicators in the world. Tens of millions of people going to you for this. How do you and your wife argue?
Yeah.
And like, let us in on all the secrets that we all need to be doing differently.
Are you ready for the tea?
Yes.
Okay, my wife. No, I'm kidding. She's a fantastic communicator. Law really teaches you to be concise, and what I like to compare it is I'm a lot slower. She operates a lot faster, but often we have to communicate the same level. When you have two kids and you're raising a family and everything, it's a lot. Our arguments are very short, and the reason because of that is we operate on this very quick to apologize, very quick to resolve. If you want your argument to be shorter with your spouse, with your partner, with your friend, be quick to apologize. So often it is the continual circular arguments that just tend to roll on forever because you can't really sleep. When you're having that bad argument with your spouse or a significant other, it keeps you up at night. It begins to live and seep, and now you're having to put on an act for your kids when really you're irritated at each other and you want to lash out. Being quick to apologize and quick to resolve, that makes our arguments very short because we're fast to say, that's not what I meant. Or, I can see how that's how you would take it. I didn't mean it that way, or I didn't intend it that way. Whenever you can push out your intentions rather than pushing how they should react, that's a big difference. What I mean by that is, here I am taking the accountability of, I could have done better communicating that, versus, why would you behave that way? Why would you even behave that way when I said this? Who reacts like that? So when you take the responsibility for being understood, radical things can change.
Even if you think they're completely at fault, they don't get it, they should do different, they should do better. But that's going to go for an argument forever because I've tried that.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you're not saying they're right by apologizing or by, you're saying, oh, wait, maybe I could have communicated that differently.
Right.
You're doing your part to try to make the argument shorter.
There are times when, and again, I'm not pointing to where people are in toxic relationships,
Right.
People with narcissistic tendencies. Yeah, yes, that can be circular and terrible. I'm not saying you should just apologize to apologize.
Yeah.
What I'm communicating is, whenever there is a friction in the conversation,
Yeah.
we make sure that it doesn't get heated. In other words, it doesn't combust and turn into flame. It is trying to draw it out by unraveling the knot and going, okay, this is how I understood it. What did you hear? Okay, all right, that's not what I intended at all. I'm sorry. What I meant to say was X, Y, and Z. So the quicker you can get to that, the better.
That's so good. Okay, so this is what I intended. What did you hear?
Yes.
And then, oh, okay, well, that's not what I intended. Here's
Yes.
this.
Right.
I want to just share something that I think is so profound, because every time I was growing up, when I knew my parents were arguing or this or that, and they didn't argue much. My parents actually just didn't talk about hard things.
Yeah.
When they did argue, and I knew that they were, I would go in and I would, say, is everything okay? And they're like, absolutely. And, they cover it up. And we think we want to protect our kids and hide it. But if an argument's getting drug out and we're actually hiding it, I read something where children are learning to not trust their own intuition because they're saying, is everything okay? And we're like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. They know it's not.
Yeah, they can sense it.
They sense it.
Yeah.
And we're saying, don't trust your senses, or your senses are off, or
Yeah.
something like that. And so the idea of, the stronger you become at communicating
Yes.
and learning how to respond in an argument with someone you love in a way that diffuses it,
Yeah.
just has so many ripple effects beyond just
Yes.
that particular thing. So I love that.
I want to make sure I tell you,
Yeah.
and right along with that, this happened sometime last year with my son, who's now 7. And I got home, long day, suit and tie, and I'm starting to make their lunches for tomorrow. Son asked me, how your day was, Dad? And I said, oh, it was fine, buddy. It was good. It was good. It was a good day. How was your day? And I'm continuing to make the sandwich. And he doesn't bring it up again. We go on about dinner and bedtime, bath, everything. I am sitting on his bed for prayers and song. And first thing he asked was, why'd you tell me it was a good day when it wasn't? I kid you not. That is exactly what he said. I said, what did you mean? He said, you didn't say it like it was good. You said it like you were sad. And I mean, it was such a just slap in the face of, I'm never going to say it was just good again. He needs to hear that from me, even when the day's been bad. He needs to hear when it's been tough. I mean, and it was just this moment of, how dare I try to just gloss over the fact of that he needs to know that I have hard days too. And that hit me just like a ton of bricks. So yeah, no hiding from him. Yeah.
Wow. You say, I think this is something really, really powerful, because a lot of people don't want to get in an argument. A lot of people don't even want to have a conversation, especially if there's like anything hard or difficult or challenging or, any of it. And you say that when you align your conversations or your arguments with your personal values,
Yes.
that you're sort of aligned then ahead of time with your goals before you go into it. Can you explain to us what that means and how we all do it right now, today, in our lives?
So values are intrinsic to everybody. What I value is going to be different than what you value. They might be similar, but we all take it different ways based on how we've been raised. What values do is guide you like a North Star when you don't have any kind of compass. What I do, what I encourage, is that people have conversational values, because when you do, decisions become easier. Take it, for example, with a company. Your major Fortune 500 companies, like your company, there are ones that have values. And when you have a value, decisions become easier because you don't have to question it. You follow the value. If my value is I only work with clients who align with me, it comes easy. I don't have to make that decision. I know that that's who I'm going to work with. Same thing in your conversation. So one of my values that I hold dearly is, where there is kindness, I will use it. Where there is room for kindness, I will use it. Doesn't matter what they did. Doesn't matter what they caused. The question is there room for kindness? And that comes from my mama. I would complain about something that someone happened at school, expecting her to, buy into the tea. Let's get some, how dare they kind of thing. And what my mom would say is, well, were you kind? I can hear it in my head. She'd say, well, were you kind? And I would always go, I mean, I probably not, Mom. And she'd go, well, I think you should be kind. I mean, that was just her thing. And that became such a value of me, of when I'm talking on the phone to an opposing attorney and he says something snide, I know that he's trying to jab me. Is there room for kindness? I'll use it. And I'll say something like, well, you know what? I know you really care for your clients. I know you really care for your clients, Matt, and that really shows. Any way that I can just share a little bit of kindness, I don't have to worry about the next zinger. I don't have to worry about what can I say to impress them. Is there room for kindness? And that's what I'll do. But I have others.
And you feel like that works to your advantage
every
even
time.
With a snide attorney on the call.
Yes, because
they don't mistake it for weakness.
Because how they interpret it is going to be how they interpret it. I'm the one that has to be left with it. I'm the one that has to walk away and go home to my family. And if I'm carrying that conversation that I had with that opposing attorney home, why? They don't deserve that. That's not what that conversation was for. That's not why they said it. And so having these values, another that I love to use is, if I can't be a bridge, be a lighthouse. If things burn down and don't work out with that other people, well, that's okay. They'll always still know where I'm at. They always know where to find me. So when you have these ideas in your head of what my value is.
Explain that a little bit more. If I can't be a bridge,
be a lighthouse.
Be a lighthouse.
Yeah. So let's say you and I been friends and we have a big fallout. Despite what I say, and I'm really trying to mend this relationship, and it's just not happening. You've written me off. It's not working out. That bridge is really burned. Well, that's okay. I'm still going to be a lighthouse. Maybe I'll see you in 5 years. Maybe I'll see you in 15 years when life has happened to both of us. But I'm not going to change the light that I'm going to to put out into the world just because of our bridge was burned.
Or the light you wish that other person.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so when you have these values, and every one of us has a value, and that's how you handle your conversations, because it allows you to, I don't have to worry about decisions. The values make the decisions for me.
That's so good. I love that too, because I've had to do this. I wish I've never had to do this, but I've had
Yeah.
to do this even recently, where a friend just like completely wasn't the friend I thought they were. And I
That's
think
hard.
parts of our humanness want to, tell them all the reasons they're wrong, or this or that, or all the things. And it's like, I think when you can just be a lighthouse and go, okay, so it's a different friendship than I thought.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to pray for them and
Yeah.
love on them. And I feel like what happens then is you meet the vibration also of attracting great friends.
Yes.
When you,
Oh, yeah. And that's your gift.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's where it comes back. Whenever you send that zinger, that clap back, that sense of, oof, man, I just put together the perfect paragraph that's going to punch them in the mouth.
Yeah.
It always has a bad aftertaste.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It may not be right within that moment, but it'll probably be the next morning. And it'll definitely be a week from now. And I mean, the longer it goes, the harder it is to come back together.
I even think about that when I see comments online. Someone just like,
Oh, yeah.
it can feel like a temporary relief or something when you just, get that hateful comment out or attack someone. But then you're meeting the vibration of that in your life. So it just comes all around you in different areas. So that's so beautiful. Be the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Even if you're not,
Yeah.
even if you're not the bridge.
That's right.
Even if you're not the bridge. How, what role does self-worth play in communication with others and with ourselves?
Self-worth matters of who you're listening to. It's the question of who are you listening to when it's, say I have the confidence, or I can be assertive, or I shouldn't have said that. It is the line of who are you listening to in your life that's driving your own value. So much of what we put in self-value is a lie often. It's doubt. We sow a lot of doubt into ourselves, and that can grow over time to where when you get that one comment from a troll, all of a sudden you feel like they're telling you the truth, when really all they're doing is speaking to your doubts. And self-worth is something that you can grow into, and I don't want to say lean into. It's something you can step into, because when you can learn how to communicate effectively to stand up for yourself, just a little bit, you have that self-worth. When you can tell somebody no and it works, you feel excited about it. You feel worthy. Hey, you feel like, hey, I have that within myself of good job. Okay, now you feel a little bit better, and then you continue to grow in that step by step by step. But self-worth is very much tied to your communication, because again, how you communicate is who you are and how you feel about yourself.
And how you communicate with yourself, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
no doubt. And because it's, remember, who are you listening to? Am I listening to my own doubts? People who are negative say negative things. And people who are positive say positive things. It's as simple as that. When you start to doubt yourself, it's because you're listening to your doubts. You're not listening to the positivity. When you feel anxious, you're listening to the anxiety-inducing thoughts of what ifs, rather than the comfort in knowing I knows.
I love a great life-changing episode. I am so excited for this one today. Did you know that how you communicate, how you argue, and how you handle the way others communicate and treat you can change every single part of your life? And today we have one of the top communication experts in the world who's sharing the secrets and simple tools you can apply to your life right now, today, to help you improve your life at work, at home, and in your most important relationships.